Graduate with honors. We're here because you're looking for the best of the best of the best. Sir.
Hey guys, welcome back to Red Hot Raids. This week we're just going to get straight into it, no intro. We're getting straight into a Hoff raid, and this was Mass Valks. Now my thing was a little bit glitchy, it looks like. Yes, it does look a little bit glitchy. So we're going to get straight into it either way. Hoff, he's gone with a few giants out of the clan castle and just Mass Valks. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's a huge strategy, this one, but this is very realistically a very strong army at the moment. You see this is 106k base, so not far off being a max Town Hall 11, and he just absolutely annihilates it. So this is a donut base, very popular still, but I think it's going to get less and less, and people are actually going to have to start thinking about building bases because this just gets absolutely smashed. And you see Hoff, he doesn't have max heroes yet, but he's working on them. And he did an excellent raid. So, yeah, this week out of our 8 replays, just the 4 clans, we are going to show, I think it was 6 of them do have Valks in it. So, it's a bit of a challenge for us, I do say over and over, to get these replays in our weekly recaps and have something different. But, you know, at the same time, we still want to celebrate a good, solid hit. And in that war, Hoff absolutely smashed that bloke. So, well done, Hoff. Next raid we go into is from War Whales. And it's Ruse versus Death Balloons. I'm pretty sure this was a farm war. Captain might be able to comment on that. So he's gone in with a Walk Valk raid. You see the 4 healers, I think that was, throws the Warden onto the Queen. That's one of the tactics I do like myself because it does help that Queen go through speed-wise. Means she's going to take less damage, means she can tank for longer, means things get killed quicker, and she gets less overall incoming damage. You just got to be aware, of course, the Eagle activates at the 150 units. So good amount of damage to start off with there through that Queen Walk. And Queen Charge now, of course. A mixed clan castle, lots of wizzies, lots of loons. And the giant there was just to allow a wall open with the wall breakers. So I would assume the Valks are going to be coming in there. Here we go, old Jimmy Bob gets thrown in. The Rangers, they're next. In they go. Now, that's a jump to get to midfield. That's quite an important place jump. He did actually have the 2, and that splits up that whole centre. So that's brilliant. You see the clan castle hogs. He did have a few personal hogs as well. So for a, not really a go-the-ho, but Valks and hogs, and 1 remaining heal. I'm assuming that's going to be for the hogs. I've only seen so much of this raid myself. So that Queen's going through. She did die in the end, of course. Jimmy's in the middle there. He's getting healed up. The Warden's surviving. He's getting healed up. It was good to see he had a couple of clean-up wizards. They're going to go through and get some pretty good damage out. Valks are still going. The healers are just about gone. And that's because the Archer Tower as well as that air defense was onto it. So quite a well-placed base. Those giant bombs flanking the centre core line there, and you're seeing a lot of mixed up bases now in your farm wars as well as in scrims because we've really got to combat these Valks and work out ways. I know for me personally, my max Town Hall 11, I was 86% in my last farm war, and I was a little bit disgusted about how easy it was. So great raid, Ruse. The first one of the week for War Whales. Just got through on the end. Next one we're going to go into is Above and Beyond's first one for the week. And this was a Town Hall 10. Must be a Queen Charge with the air defences where they are. So this was Emin. And I have seen quite a few raids from Emin through scrims and things like that. So 4 healers on the Queen. Only the level 34 Queen, level 30 King. So he's fairly new into Town Hall 10. Doesn't have things like max wall breakers. Not that you need them nowadays, but it's always nice. So you see that first rage is placed just in the Valk, so it's going to get full range into the base. Looked like Witch in the CC yet. Witch is by that Town Hall there. But because he's got that single laser at the back, it just absolutely goes through and smokes it. You see now the Queen, she's still got the 4 healers. She's not needed anything. The King, old Jimmy Bob, he's got his abilities left. there's not really much more left from there. So he's needed the Valks. They've gotten through the core parts. Old Jimmy Bob cops it. And the Queen's left to pretty much clean up. So it's good you've sped this up here, Chelsea. And we'll see the Queen will do the job. So the Queen walks. And I mean, obviously Valks. And it's interesting to look at some of the raids that we've had at the start of this week. Myself personally from the clans I'm in. And yeah, the walk is still a very important part of raiding at Town Hall 10s and 11s. Next one's War Whale's second raid for the week. And it's nice to see no Valks. And we've got a Town Hall 10 Lava Loon, 87k. So that's a bit of a mixed base between Town Hall 10 and 9 defences. Not too many 9 defences left there by the looks of it, though. So yeah, good solid Town Hall 10 base. And this is Caesar. I think I've seen one of Caesar's before. So level 40 Queen's got to go with a bit of a Queen walk. Turn that into a charge and aim for that air defence there. Because it's that, you see it's that 4 space back. So you're not going to be able to shoot it from the outside. So you've definitely got to assess how do you get into that air defence. Lightning's out the Inferno Tower. That's a nice tactic because in that way the Queen doesn't have to worry about healing problems. And controls that Queen beautifully. We'll need that rage though. Yeah, I thought that rage would have to come out. I expect that Queen's going to push up and should be able to get the enemy Queen. Yeah, there it is. Didn't need to pop her ability. And she is still going solid. There's nothing that's going to cause her any major problem for quite a while. So I'd expect he will be able to get into his air section. Oh, the King's going to go in and get an air defence as well. Look at this. I have been a little bit slack this week with my YouTubing. And it's caught up to me in one of these raids as well. You know, like I love my red hot raids through the week. I love seeing the compilations of them, and sometimes I get a bit of a surprise myself. So it holds on to his King there for quite a while, and then pops it out. The Queen, she's still alive. She's going to get that Town Hall. It looks like she's going to work through and get towards that Inferno as well. Still has the ability left, of course. Giant bomb right on her head. Soaks that for as long as possible, and then maximum damage onto that Inferno. So pretty much dry spells from there now, but the damage is done. That other remaining Expos on ground, there's a good dozen loons there at least. A Hound's still unpopped. There's minions at the back end. This is an amazing raid. Love to see raids like this. Lava Loons used to be the strongest attack, obviously with the Valk changes, it's changed it. So it's good to see people still sticking with some of the old strats and picking on these bases that deserve it. Brilliant raid, Caesar. Next we're going to go into the Clashing Dead, their first replay for the week. And this is a Queen Walk Valk raid, I think. 86k base, so slightly lower. You do see how between the 86 and the 87k, it's only 1,000 points gold, I should say, in the scheme of things, but a lot of those defences are now Town Hall 9 defences. But Dracul goes in with the Queen to get the Hound there, Hound CC. So not really too sure if this was a fresh raid. If it was a fresh raid, there was no real reason to kill that Hound. That Queen, though, she's gotten stuck, unfortunately, but she will get in and play a pivotal role and getting that left-hand flank. That's worked perfectly. The Valks have gone off to the centre, and the King's gone around the right-hand side, so he is just going to smash it up. Old Jimmy Bob, there he's going. The first giant bomb on the right-hand side. The Queen, she's going to have absolutely no dramas. You've still got plenty of redheads survived. They are ripping it up. Some tail loons, a couple minions, a couple archers, all kinds of things here. Absolutely no dramas. Let's see, there's old Jimmy Bob. He gets a rage. Queen still got her ability, but just wasn't needed. So great raid, Dracul. These are the kinds of things, and this is why it's hard to look past some of these raids, because Valks are just absolutely smashing it. So let's have a look at Town Hall 9 now. And we've got 3 Town Hall 9s this week. This is Tank from Above and Beyond. One of the co-leaders there, old Tanky. And we're looking at the Expos on both, one on ground, one on air. 2 big cells in the centre of the base there. I was just looking to see whether he had earthquakes, but he does not. So I'd expect he's going to jump through the middle there as well. What's good about the old jump It's a bit different than the earthquake, of course, is if you do stuff your opening, then you could always use your jump as an emergency. So sometimes when you use your earthquake strats and you break out your earthquakes early in a war, which a lot of us do, unfortunately you don't have that backup for a wall breaker fail. And if anyone's watched any of my videos, I fail just as many raids as other people. And, you do work out sometimes entering via a jump spell is sometimes the safe option. So looks like he's got going into that centre line should be good there. The golem's almost gone. Where did the redheads come into it? There we go. Out come the rangers. Big 28 Jimmy. Clan Castle rangers. So that jump spell must get, yep, there we go. That's going to absolutely clean up. He does have 7 hogs, so they'll be able to get those corner cells. That's important. I like that heal that covers the redheads for as long as possible. Then they get out, and there's a lot of angry redheads there. Where do the hogs come into it? There they are. Jimmy Bob's still got his rage left, so he's going to smack it up in there. You'd expect he'll use that soon to cover those remaining hogs. Oh, he's still got 4 hogs left. Still got a heal, still got 4 hogs. Doesn't really need either. A brilliant raid tank. Still going here, old tanky. There we go. Drops out the hill. Wasn't really needed. Queen's still going. She's just taking her time, breaking through some walls. But the hogs will do the damage. Here we go. Speed up there. 90 Knight. Cops the pineapple. Well done, tank. This is Aussie Addicts second raid for the week. And you can just see this is one of the things I try and do just to show that they are first hits. This was Shade, one of our fairly new guys to clan. I have shown him before on my war recaps, but he enters into red hot raids this week, 68k base, and he's coming with a Golar loon. And I do recall slightly this raid, and it did impress me. It was quite an impressive use of his Queen, a full use of a rage on the golem contingent, and he got a good amount of base out of this. So you see entering into a middle side, it is quite hard entering into middle like that because you've got those 2 flanking archer towers, and they can sometimes give you your own queen a lot of grief. Holds on to his king, so old Jimmy Bob, he gets held onto for quite a while, which works well, because if he had been in front there, that dragon would have given him a big what for. And you see that rage should hit the floor there. So that queen, she is mopping up buildings. And what was good about that is that town hall is in a really poor placement because it's not going to stop. The queen's not going to get locked onto that. Both air defence are down. Abilities popped there. That'll chew up that town hall. I don't think he got the blower in the end. The mortar goes down. Just does a lot of damage to it, but just missed it. So just a smidge of health left on that. Good spread of these loons. No spells now. It's just a ticking time bomb. The old loons charging in. And spit up there. Thank you, Mother, for the rabbits. There we go. Great raid Shade. Good addition to Aussie Addicts. Few corner huts. Now we're coming into the last one for the week. Like I said, just the 4 clans this week. So this was the TheClashingDead second raid, and it's a Go Varho Town Hall 9. What's happening there? Albert's moving his little camera controls. And what do we got? Starts with 2 loons. I did watch the introduction to this. I was thinking, why the 2 loons? But then you can see the thought behind it is to stop that golem pathing all the way over to that. So that worked well. And obviously he wanted to enter into that cell because you can see the wizards to clear that those first few side buildings and force that herd, those Valks, into the centre spot where he wanted to start. So good placement on the jump. That's going to make sure that these redheads, they go exactly where wanted. And once they get into the middle there, they will just wreak havoc with the old whirlwinds. So you see that first hill go down, which is good, because if that loon drops damage on them, it's just going to keep them up. That could do a lot of damage. And there we go, a second jump. So it was 2 jump, 2 heal for this combo. That's awesome. You don't see a lot of jumps through this. A lot of us take earthquakes, let alone the double jump. A few hogs down the bottom there. What was that? There was 3-point defense and a mortar. Now you see, positioning all of those double jumps has meant those redheads have gone right through the centre, and those hogs are just going to trail through at the end there. That's brilliant. Really good positioning of those hogs, and the Valks just guiding them exactly where he wanted. So great raid, King Tango. That's it for us for the week, guys. As always, I hope you've had a bit of a laugh. I hope you've enjoyed our raids. That's some of our highlights for the week. And as always, clash on.
You got his eye from across the room.